interview last night with JakeNBake. In a funny way, JakeNBake, his interview, a lot of the things he said I kind of connect with. Yeah, he's fake now, but he wasn't always that way. He sold out because obviously he streams for a very, very, like, safe. He streams for a very safe platform, so he can't really do anything. But like when he first started, he was a little bit wild. That's what people tell me. How is he? He's more like a branded kind of company guy now, and he's got managers, so they don't really allow him to do. I used to watch Jake, and he's like any other Twitch streamer, just awkward, and he's nice. Yeah. In his interview, he said that he used to watch people like Ice beside him. So at least he gave a shout out to Ice beside him. They tried to avoid talking about Kick as much as possible. You can tell. Like in the interview, they were like, oh, so if you weren't on Twitch, what other platform would you be on? And like, he said YouTube so fast, like, he's such an idiot. Throwing away a lot of money. Kick is a naughty word. Yeah, exactly. They probably talked about that before the interview even started. Like, don't mention Kick. Falling off what? I hate when people just come in and chat and write some stupid ass. Falling off of what? My bank account ain't falling off. I know why. I always get like new viewers to come in. Because every time I push the live, it sends out a notification. And when you have 46,000 people that do follow you, I guess they might get a notification. So it's all they want is your reaction. I'm just saying, like, my reaction is falling off of what? Still eating good. Still living the life that I want to live. So you're going to stay in Thailand forever? I mean, generally when you buy a house, you get married, you settle down. That's what that means. I live in Thailand, bro. I have a house, cars, a wife. Why would I just leave? It sickens me that Sus watches. I don't watch him. I don't watch stream. I just said I watched an interview with him. And I thought the interview was interesting because even though I don't watch him, we have somewhat similar lives, right? I mean, he moved to Asia, I moved to Asia. He started streaming, I started streaming. He started changing his content, I started changing my content. The way that he views about his content and doing live streaming is similar. If you watch the interview, it's similar to the way that I think of it too. Like, yeah, not only that, I've met him a few times, you know what I mean? Well, you already pointed out that you don't think that he's cool. That's perfectly fine, but you can't take away the fact that he's had an imprint on streaming, which inadvertently affects a lot of other streamers, you know what I mean? So he's not technically an OG, but he is an OG in a sense. Like, so for example, he was like the first streamer to stream in Japan. I'm like second gen, you know what I mean? So he did kind of pave the way for us in Japan. A lot of people wouldn't be streaming or doing the same type of thing. What do you mean? So you do watch? I don't watch, but I know of him, obviously. I've been streaming for 5 years, bro. He's been streaming for 8 years. I started streaming 3 years after him. That's not a long difference. Obviously, I know of him. In the streaming community, you hear things, you understand about the what do you call it? The atmosphere of streaming, and you know, you start to hear names and things. I hate JakeNBake more than I hate Sampath. That's a stretch. Where does all this hate come from? He's like the most unhateable type of streamer. The only thing I think about him is that, like, he kind of doesn't, he stays in his own lane. He's kind of like me. which is another thing. Like, he even said it in his podcast. He doesn't really like to do collabs that much. I don't do collabs either, really. You know what I mean? I stay on my own lane. I somewhat made the promise a long time ago that I would be exclusive to Kick. That's why you never see me multi-stream. You know, he was like, nowadays, streamers have to find their niche. Because it's like, he was like, back in the day when I went to Japan, everything was a first. So everybody was like really into it. Like, you know what I mean? The first time he went to a vending machine, people were like, ooh, Japanese vending machine. Now you've seen vending machines 1,000 times. Like, you know, so no one gives a And he was like, nowadays, like, you gotta have kind of like a niche. Meaning, you know, he said for himself, he said he wants to get into cars and like he wants to do like car content in the future. And then I was thinking about myself. So when I listened to his stuff, I started thinking about myself. I started thinking about like, man, I have my own cooking show. Like, that's the bread and butter for right now. Like, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people just do the same. They just walk around, party, that's it. It's like no one really ever just stands out and does their thing. And he said something interesting. He said something about like how 99% of the money in streaming only goes to 1% of the streamers. Well, I mean, you don't have to keep on saying how much you hate him, bro. That's not the topic of the conversation. The topic of the conversation is the interview itself. Regardless if you like somebody or not, you can still talk about the interview and what I took away from it. I mean, I'm not like a big JakeNBake fan. I just, once again, the thing that we have in common is we are streamers. Like, he mentioned a lot of little things that maybe you guys wouldn't be able to understand because it's from a streamer mindset. I 100% feel in my heart like I'm a streamer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is what I do. This is my career. I've been streaming full-time every day for 3 years, and before that, part-time for 2 years. Like, I'm a streamer, you know? So when he mentions certain things that maybe a lot of audience might not understand, I get it. And so I'm just like, that's interesting take on that, you know? Oh, yeah, he mentioned Ice. He said back in the day when he was first starting out, like before he started out, he said he was watching Ice. So he basically said Ice was before him, which is true. All right, Blimp, please don't write anything like that anymore because honestly, you've already made your point clear, bro. Like, it's starting to get annoying. Either you're drunk or something, man, but you need to chill with all that talk. Like, we get your point, bro. You don't like him. You know what I mean? It's cool, bro. Yeah, we get your point. You don't like him, but that's not the conversation we're having, bro, for the millionth time. I don't hate JakeNBake. I've met him. He's been nice to me. You know what I mean? I don't watch his streaming, but that's besides the point. Like, we're not talking about him as the person. We're just talking about the interview and some of the things that he said during the interview. Like, he talked about the state of streaming, and as particularly IRL. You know what I mean? Which is how I started my career as well. Dude, it doesn't matter if girls find me attractive or not, man. The only thing I can do is take it as a compliment. I'm married. It's not like I'm looking just to collab because a girl thinks I'm attractive. I mean, I'm not on my own. I'm not going to say, oh, well, it's because I'm attractive. But, like, well, all I can say is thank you. Doesn't mean that I want to stream with somebody just because they find me attractive. My main issue with streaming now, with collabing, is it just becomes a bunch of hate speech. It doesn't even get fun anymore. I realized that my last time hanging out with homeless. And I've done realize that. You know, it's happened to me so many times, hanging out with Cube, then hanging out with Sam Pandy, then hanging out with homeless. It's just always non-stop directed shit towards me. It's just like, why does it always have to be about me? You know? It's always about me. And I've just gotten tired of it. And I'm like, if it's going to be about me, then it's going to be about me because I'm only by myself. It never benefits me. And then people are like, well, why don't you ask for some of the money? Man, I never do that. Why the like, no one would ever do that. Monetizing hate towards me is crazy. I would never do that. that's a real toxic environment that you're setting up for yourself. You should stick with your... I am. I'm going to ride it out until Christmas, and then hopefully things die down again, because there is waves of, like, you know, career where it's just like, oh, it's toxic, non-toxic, toxic, non-toxic. It's just, you know, it goes in waves. But lately, like I said, I've been pretty decent, you know. I've been pretty wholesome, as wholesome as can wholesome be. So I'm not really giving haters any ammunition. So the only ammunition people got are that I've done, like, from years and years and years ago. And if they're still holding on to that, well, then these mother losers, because obviously I've done change. They just don't want to move on with their lives.
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.